everybody. This is Nic Cocco at 148 South Street Studio, and I'm here with the awesome Alex Karasinki. So excited to be here with you, man. It's great to see you.
Great to see you as well.
Well, man, I've had the pleasure of getting to work with you for now, since December, so this has been, about 6 months? And man, we've had a good time. It's been fun to work together. Why don't you play a little waterfall for us here? You know, just show people. That is something that you got to have a great drummer to work with. You just do, you know? And when you got a bass player and a drummer who can lock, and then you've got the great Kenny Hill on the guitar, right? Add the warm, rich vocals of Mike Tillery, and man, what you've got is an incredible band.
Some magic can definitely happen.
Absolutely. One of the things that we've been working on together, right, is the things we do on the stage.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And we talk about, movement and how important moving to the song is. What have you what skills have you added to your toolbox?
Haven't been closing my eyes. That's a good one. Being able to look people in the eye, grooving to the song, and depth. Creating angle, creating ways in which the person sitting in one seat can still see the band from different ways, and that just helps them get more into it because there's more going on.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Spot on, brother. Spot on, brother. Now, when we get together for rehearsals and stuff, you always do some cool things to warm up with.
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, I always hear you do cool things, And if I think back, a couple of times, I think I've heard you playing some stuff like Jocko.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Yeah, show us what you.
Okay, so I know a small amount of chromatic fantasy, and it's probably not even correct. I learned it when I was I learned the little bit that I learned when I was 15. So that's what I know, but
right,
it's probably it's not.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. So show us a little bit of what you know. Nice. Now, you like to listen to Jocko, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so when you listen to other bass players and Victor Wooten,
oh yeah,
Nathan East,
absolutely.
Right. So when you listen to these guys, what are you listening for?
I guess it all depends, I mean, they probably feel the same way. It depends on the song they're playing.
Yeah.
It could be the approach to their timing, whether they're on the beat, before, behind, what they're trying to set up. Tonality, I mean, that's a big point. And just even how they lead into their notes, because the leading notes are very important,
Yes.
Walking a bass line it's nothing unless there's direction.
Right. I totally agree. So, when you listen to those guys, do you study the attack? Maybe how they attack the one, the downbeat on the one, or do you listen to the release more?
Dude, all of it's really important. Attacking the one, I mean, especially in popular music, because a lot of these cats do end up playing on pop bands,
Right.
So the one is crucial. It ties the whole song. I mean, you can get a little wishy-washy throughout it, but as long as you're on that one every single time, the song's flowing, it's grooving, it's moving forward.
Cool. Yeah, totally get it. You play some jazz.
A little bit.
You play some jazz, and obviously you play rock, okay? What's the difference in your mind between and I'll say pop jazz as opposed to straight ahead jazz, and rock? What's the difference?
Rock? It's hard to say because the one you could look at it. I mean, obviously, so with walking bass lines, that's clear direction, right?
Right.
That's clearly telling you where the chords are going, how they're resolving, all that stuff. But rock also has direction, but it's more of the driving. You know, it's not, you're not necessarily leading into different phrases, but you're just chugging, you're getting that feeling out there, you know, to really push out rock.
All right, well, let's do an example. Let's give the audience an example, okay? So like if I was to do something more like this. Folks, I got to tell you, he had no idea what I was about to do. Okay, or what I just did, rather. Because we didn't rehearse any of this. So what I was doing was I was just, playing E minor pedals starting on the 5. Okay, and just kind of walking it through. So more of a jazz progression, right? So you got that A minor, right? Leading to that D7, going to that G, to a C, up to the F sharp, B, down to the E. F sharp. Cool. So just jamming over that. Right. Now, okay, so now if we take that and we wanted to do more of a rock progression, right? Right? We could do something like staying on that A minor there. Do that. Do G. That's all right. So you kind of get the idea, right? So the rock progression's a little bit more driven,
a little meatier,
right?
yeah.
A little meatier, right? Whereas in the jazz, it's a little bit more smoother and more about the movement. Right?
Absolutely.
Right. All right. Cool. So when you listen to rock now, like let's say Jimi Hendrix. Let's talk about Jimi Hendrix for a minute, right? Jimi Hendrix, one of the greatest guitar players, right? And power trio, right? Power trio player. And when you think about Jimi Hendrix's style of music, what was the role that the bass player had to play there?
He had to tie it together, honestly. I mean, obviously Jimmy was the song because that's what you're listening to, but the bass player was the song.
Right.
Him and the drummer they had to fill it to allow Jimmy to do whatever he wanted to do.
Which is really a lot like jazz.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, in the jazz world, right, it's about the drums and the bass. That's the song. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then the soloist plays over the top of that.
Well, you didn't really have, jazz artists back there with, dimed out amps.
Exactly.
Setting stuff on fire.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
They bridged that together pretty well.
Yeah. That's true. They did. So power trio wise, right? Because essentially Mars Hill is a power trio with a lead vocalist,
Yep.
right? So, who are some of your favorite power trios?
You know, I would say Rush was pretty cool.
Can't go wrong with Rush,
Can't go wrong with Rush. You said Jimi Hendrix already.
right? What about Cream? You like Cream?
Oh, that's Eric Clapton,
That's
right?
Eric Clapton, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Grew up, I didn't really grow up listening to it, but when I was younger, I heard it a lot.
I get it. I'm reaching back a little bit too far. I get it. All right. So, if you had your druthers right now, okay, any guitar player that could walk through this door, other than Kenny, because I know you love Kenny, but besides Kenny, could walk through this door, who'd you want to play with?
Honestly, Buckethead.
Buckethead?
Probably.
Okay. Why? Why Buckethead?
The dude's got like, what, 40 albums out of
Right.
him just grooving over a drum machine? I mean, he just seems like a fun cat to sit down and just jam with.
Awesome. That's a great answer. That's a great answer. That's a great answer. Okay, so we got to check out Buckethead, everybody. Let me ask Alex, if there was any bass player that you could sit down, jam with, or maybe even have a lesson with, or something to that effect, who would that be?
You know, I'd really enjoy studying under Jeff Schmidt, actually.
Really? Tell
Yeah.
me why.
His come up story, from what I remember, is he wasn't really playing bass until he got back into it. You know, he learned all the theory and he just kind of exploded out of there. So I think he'd be a good guy to learn advanced theory from.
Cool. I think I could definitely see that. Guy's a phenomenal player. Now, he plays, what, a 6, 7?
I think he has a couple different things, because I know he's done piccolo shows before too.
That's true. That's
So-
true. That's true. All right. So, yeah, but I know he plays multi-string bass. Certainly, obviously, he could play a 4-string, but I believe he could also, I think he also plays 6 and 7-string.
I'd love to get into extended ranges too. With Mars Hill, it would look a little silly though if I'm up there 9 strings, you know.
Well, I don't know. You know, you could look kind of cool, at least on a song or two. You're playing this Music Man bass.
Yep.
I'm playing this E-Man guitar right here. Tell me about that bass. Tell me, I know you love playing it, talk about it all the time. What do you like about it?
Yeah, honestly, this was a graduation gift, and it's what I wanted. I was in a more aggressive band, of kind of like a post-hardcore kind of situation, so I needed something with some bite to it. But then I also thought it was interesting because it's got the foam mutes down here,
Right.
and those come into play for really interesting purposes. I mean, yeah, of course you can just mute the string, but if you get that mute just barely touching that string, you kind of get like that fretless wah sound, you know?
Yeah.
Just not enough, but just enough to make you be like, yeah, I kind of wish I had a fretless. But
That's cool.
I mean, the build quality alone, dude. I ran this over with my car.
I remember that. I
Yeah,
remember that.
Still works.
I remember that. Everybody, I'm Nic Cocco at 148 South Street Studio. This is Alex Karasinki. Thank you for watching.